Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a chatty video, so grab a drink. I have cranberry mango juice, really good. um, it's been a long time since I've talked to you guys, since I've made a video, and we're going to be talking about that today, why I've been gone, where I've been, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to be showing you guys decks I've gotten since the beginning of the year. There's not many. There's 4, including one that I got today that I haven't looked at. So I thought it would be fun if we did like a little unboxing together at the end of this video to look at the new deck I got. So, where have I been? I have been going through a lot mentally since the beginning of the year. I haven't been feeling totally mentally okay. And I think that's just a phase of life, and I've like accepted that. And it's really sad because I feel like I've kind of abandoned my spirituality during this time just because I feel like my mental health is kind of fragile right now. And it makes me sad because I know that I should be going and seeking my spiritual journey. I know I should be like seeking out my spirituality when I'm feeling this way. That's what it's there for. And I've just been feeling really not myself. So that's kind of where I'm at. There's a lot of like external factors that are causing this. It's not really internal, if that makes sense. It's things happening in my life that are causing this anxiety, and I don't know, it's just like fear of the unknown and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, I just have not felt myself in any way, shape, or form. And so that's kind of why I have purchased a few more decks than I probably would have if I was like in an okay mental space. Just because I want to feel more like myself and feel like that person that loves decks and wants to order new decks and get excited for them. Um, you know, Before the end of 2023, I was in a really good space about using the decks that I have, and it's not that I'm not wanting to use the decks I have, but it's just like I want to feel and cling to something that feels like myself. I'm still very intentional. I haven't gone crazy. I've literally only purchased 4 decks um, in the past 3 months. So, I feel like that's okay. And I know a lot of people collectively have been going through tarot burnout. I think that's something that is really like collectively felt with the tarot community from what I've seen. And I don't know if necessarily what I'm going through is tarot burnout, because I find myself wanting to use my decks and wanting, like, I yearn for it. I want to do it. And it's just I don't have the mental capacity or the physical energy. I haven't been feeling physically well either. And that's a whole nother part of this. And so, you know, it's like I want to use my decks, but it's just like I don't have the energy to do it. It's not like I don't want anything to do with tarot, because I'm still watching tarot videos. I'm still like looking at new decks. And I feel like that's kind of maybe why I have purchased a little bit more decks than I probably would have, just because instead of like playing with my decks and doing readings and doing my normal routine, I'm like looking at decks instead to kind of like fill that space. Just to kind of cling to that part of myself. So, yeah. So yeah, I haven't been doing too much work with my decks, but I have been doing some. So we're going to talk about that. First, let's talk about this deck. I got this deck in January, and this is the Ritual Tarot. And I made a whole video unboxing it and talking about it, doing my first impressions of every single card, really doing a deep dive, talking about pairs, all this stuff. And this deck I purchased kind of before I got into this slump. And so I used it quite a bit before, like, my mental health kind of took a decline. So I love this. I made it as an investment. I wasn't planning on buying more decks this year. I was planning on buying way less. I still think that's going to be the case. So that's why I invested in this deck, because it was something that I really wanted. And I I kind of thought, well, if I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on decks all the time, then I think that this is an okay purchase. I also got a discount on it. I've been drawn to this deck forever. I picked out this special bag for it with this like silk inside. And I mean, this deck is beautiful and gorgeous. And I understand 100% why it's called the Ritual Tarot, because that's what it feels like. So I have the marked edition. So this is the edition that has the names on the back. So like, for example, this is the Three of Wands. I mean, this deck is everything. And it's funny, so I actually started to edge it in black, and I got about halfway through the deck and I ran out of marker. And then obviously in the meantime, I wanted to use the deck, so I started to shuffle it, and I actually really like the way it looks, kind of like striped like this. So I'm leaving it this way. And I just think it gives it kind of a different, funky, cool thing to have that edging. So this is something that feels so special and magical, and like if you want to feel that like luxury feeling when you're reading tarot, that's how I don't know, it feels rich, it feels luxe, you know. And I'm not somebody that financially is super well off. I'm actually like have the least money that I've ever had in my life, but that's like for a choice, because I prioritize my time and like my mental health over working to make money. Anyways, so this was something I budgeted for, and you know, it was like a big purchase I had to think about, and I love it. It just hits right. I don't know. I usually only pull one card with this deck, and it's so gorgeous, and I really love this little guidebook. I actually do read this when I pull a card. I do get like intuitive hits off the cards, but I do like to read Tira May's writing because I just think it adds to the deck. You know, she did make this to be an intuitive deck, and I love that, but I do like to see her take on the card as well. And I feel like lately I've just been kind of relying on guidebooks and things to give me the message instead of like my own, because it's almost like when you're giving yourself a reading, sometimes it's hard to be like fair or impartial. And sometimes when you're reading like a guidebook entry, it's almost like they're giving the reading to you, if that makes any sense. And sometimes it's just, I don't know, it's able to give you that more like impartial reading that's not so skewed one way or another. Love, love, love that card. That's a Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So I love this deck. I think it was worth the money. Do I think that you need to spend this much money on a deck? Absolutely not. Before I started kind of feeling bad, I was going to make like a dupe video. Not like genuine 100% dupes, but like just decks that kind of felt similar to this energy that were less expensive, but I haven't gone around to that. So this is the Ritual Tarot. I love it, but to be honest, I haven't been, ever since I've kind of not started feeling well, I haven't been playing with tarot, because tarot has been a little bit of like a trigger for me. I still want to read the cards, but like with tarot cards specifically, and I kind of group like my card reading with Oracle. Like I do love Oracle decks, and there are times when I rely heavily on my Oracle decks, and that's this time, just because there are certain cards in a tarot deck that I feel like if I pull, I might like start to spiral. I'm just very anxious. There's a lot of like unknowns right now, and I don't want to cause myself anxiety unnecessarily. So that's why I've been really focusing on the Oracle. When I do have time to do readings for myself, it's Oracle. So this one is the next deck I want to talk about. This is the Mantra Oracle, and I got this in person. So I am proud of myself that one of these decks I didn't order. This is a deck I wanted. It was on my wish list, and I'm happy that like I got to see it in person and then take it home from there. it just felt a lot more intentional, which is like my whole thing in 2024. And I just felt like this deck was really beautiful, kind of like a palette cleanser deck because of, I don't know, the energy and the white borders. It had this stupid like tray thing in it, which I took out. And these are the cards. They're really beautiful. The, oh, sorry. The guidebook on this is nice, but I feel like I've honestly, I don't know. I feel like I like to use the cards better without the book personally, just because I'm not like, I kind of just like the messages. I'm not trying to get deep into the mantras with this, and that might change in the future. That might be something I want to dive into with this deck, and that's cool that it kind of has those parts to it, but I just kind of like to use it as an oracle, and that's how I've been using it. These are the backs. Gorgeous. And they are like bigger cards, but they're really easy to shuffle. And I really like the artwork on this. I like the clean white borders, and then I really like the messages. So that's kind of how I've been using it. This is a very like matte, beautiful cardstock. So it says the need for inner peace, no more betraying my consciousness, radiating my full presence. And it does have like the mantras, so that's what these top parts are. And I just haven't been incorporating that. I did try, like I obviously worked with the deck the way it was supposed to be worked with, and then I ended up just really liking the messages and going off of that instead. So just really gorgeous. Some of them do feel similar, the messages, I will say. But it's still really beautiful. So I have enjoyed playing with this deck. I do like to pair this one with tarot. So I did buy this before things kind of went downhill, and I was pulling it with tarot, and then I just was pulling it by itself. Okay, so let's talk about this deck, because this deck, to be honest, has been the only deck that I've wanted to use during this really hard time, and it's been a saving grace for me. So this is the deck that's kind of been tethering me to my spiritual journey. It's been tethering me to my spirituality and just tarot, like card reading in general, and my, you know, divining practice. I love this deck, and it's interesting because I feel like it almost kind of called to me, like, to be purchased. Like, I don't know. This was one that was on my list before, you know, for a long time. And then I kind of just put it off because I was like, well, I have the Green Witch Oracle that felt similar like when I first looked at this. But to be honest, this is like a whole different energy, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. And it's so cleansing. The energy is beautiful and like uplifting and bright, and I love this deck. I can't get enough of it. It's really beautiful. The box is gorgeous. I love the backs. I mean, I love everything about this. The guidebook's really good. So it just kind of has Green Witch things. It's not, you know, like the Green Witch Oracle, if you guys know the one I'm talking about, is very like plant-based and, you know, plant and vegetable and fruit. This is more just like witchy. It does have that, you know, there's like plants and stuff in here, but it's more of like just witchy. I don't know. It's beautiful. And I love that each card has multiple keywords. The artwork is so soothing. I love all this like cream white space. And this deck's not like, you know, there are some harder hitting, like cards in here. Let me see if I can find one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess they are kind of uplifting, but the first card I pulled, that's funny, it's right here. The first card I pulled out of this when I was like in a really dark space was this, Sun healing energy, happiness, comfort, and joy. And that's exactly what I needed to hear. And every time I've pulled this deck, it tells me what I need to hear. And it's like so uplifting and beautiful. And I love it. So this has been the main deck I've been using. Ever since I got it, it's pretty much the only deck I've used. So let's pull a little card out and see what this deck has to say, because I haven't pulled a card from here in a few days. I don't know, it kind of like connects me to the earth and back to, it like grounds me. Yeah, you know what? That's a perfect word for this deck. It's grounding. It like brings me back down when I'm so like up in the sky with my worries and fear, or like just, I'm just like off worrying. It brings me back, I love that. Salt, protection and banishing negativity. I have gotten this card before and I love it. Protection, banishing negativity. So the one thing about this deck is that the cards are not numbered or in alphabetical order. So you literally just have to like kind of go through here and see where the card's at. You just have to kind of find it. Okay, here it is. So I'll read you guys what it says. Salt is essential to life. This mineral is so precious that it has been used as currency at times in history when its collection was labor-intensive and time-consuming. In magic, it is an all-purpose component used to create barriers to protect you, as a purifying ingredient in various blessing or holy waters, and as a cleansing implement that removes unwanted energy from magical tools or spaces. The Salt card reminds you that you have easy means to dispel negativity and protect yourself. You don't have to struggle. Salt is your partner in self-defense. Draw boundaries and keep yourself guarded against negativity. Remember to keep the energy surrounding you as clean as possible. Is there someone or something you need to set a boundary with for your own well-being? So yeah, I mean, that's something that I really needed to hear, especially lately. When I pulled it the first time, it's like, yeah, I have like control over my negative thoughts, even though it feels like they're out of control. And I do have the power to create a more positive mindset around me and my situation. So, you know, there's spreads in here which I haven't looked at, so I kind of want to peek at those real quick. Quick connection, one card draw, the green, which is past, present, future, the elements, so that's cool. Ooh, I like that. Earth, air, fire. Earth, what are the effects of this issue on my body and physical state? Air, what are the effects of this issue on my mind and mental state? Fire, what are the effects of this issue on others? And water, what are the effects of this issue on my emotional well-being? And spirit, what are the effects of this issue on my spiritual well-being? I think I'm going to do that later. There's a lot of spreads in here. 6-card spread, 9-card spread, and a 12-card spread. So that's cool. I'm going to look at that more later. But yeah, so this has been like the winner. This has become a favorite. It hasn't left my desk. Like I take it from my desk in here to my nightstand. That's kind of where it's been living, is my nightstand. I take it outside with me. I do readings outside. I love it. So that's kind of been the main deck that I've been using. So now this is the new deck I got and I'm so excited for it. So this is the Angel Number Oracle by the Pulp Girls. And they did come out with a tarot deck, which I have here. So this is the Pulp Girls Tarot deck. So is this printed? No. So this is printed by Rock Point. And this is Sterling Ethos. I think this box I do prefer. Let me see. Yeah, this one kind of just has like a hinge. It just opens like that. This one seems way fancier. So this is, the universe is sending you a message. Angel numbers are repeated combinations of numbers that come to you direct from the cosmos. Do you randomly see 11:11 on the clock? Your angels are communicating what opportunities are coming your way. When you see 2424, it's a note to believe in yourself. With this deck, you don't have to wait for these seemingly chance occurrences to receive their power. Just shuffle the cards and pick 1, 3, or more. then channel their energy for spot on guidance. And then that's really cool because it has like the numbers and it's like all sparkly. It's really beautiful. I like this box for some reason a lot. And then we have a butterfly there. Okay, so the reason I'm so excited for this is because angel numbers, numerology is something that I've really been interested in as of late, and something I paid attention to ever since my spiritual journey kind of began. I have paid attention to patterns and numbers. But recently, I would say in the last like 6 months or so, I've really been paying attention even more so. And I have this big, like, all these art pictures that I hung on my wall that I designed with angel numbers on them. So I have 1111, 222, 333, etc. up until 999. So I love this and I look at it all the time. And twos have been major in my life lately, and they've kind of incorporated into all this stuff I'm going through. And so I just thought this was a perfect deck to have because, like, paying attention to angel numbers is like another thing that's kind of kept me connected to my spiritual path, is just paying attention to that. So these are the cards. I haven't looked at them yet. Those are the backs. They do match the backs of Pulp Girls as far as like the design with the two heads, which I do like that. And I brought this Pulp Girls out because I want to play with them together at the end of this. So very nice matte cardstock. Really like that. So then we just have the cards. So it starts with 11, Awaken, 22, Harmony, 33, Action, 44, Stability, 55, Shift, 66, Revisit, 69, Accountability, 77, Purpose. And I really like this because my, usually what I pay attention to are just like angel numbers in general, like sets of 3. But I think this will help me learn more about different patterns of numbers. 1, 2, 3, Progress. I like that. I always see like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, and that to me is a good sign. Alignment. This is like the angel number I've been seeing everywhere. I have a necklace that I wear all the time that's 222. Confidence. I really like the colors because I feel like that brings in another element to it. I do see 333 a lot as well. $420, relax. That's funny. And then 444 is another one of my main angel numbers that I pay attention to. My husband freaked out when he saw 666 on the wall, and I was like, babe, I don't know. I don't like the stigma around that. And these do line up with what I have on my wall, which I do really like because that's kind of how what I associate them with. Like, I think all of these are pretty much the same. For 888, I do have balance, but I do associate 888 with abundance as well. And 2024 is an abundance year because it's 2 + 2 + 4 is 8. So I love that. Yeah, this aligns with what I have. See, now we get into like different combos, which I like. 1111, make a wish. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Potential. I think this would be fun to incorporate into client readings as well, because it just gives them like numbers to pay attention to and a keyword. So cool, infinity. All right, so I'm going to take a quick look at the guidebook and then we're going to do a little reading here. So let's see. Here's a table of contents, introduction. And obviously, like, they're called angel numbers. I don't necessarily look at them as messages from angels. I look at them, you know, as messages from spirit guides or the universe. You don't have to believe in angels or think they're coming from angels to, like, pay attention to numerology like that. Okay, so that's cool. They have, like, a basic little chart here of numerology. So that's really cool. You know, this is something that would be nice, like if you work with like a playing card deck or you work with a pip deck with tarot, you can use these as kind of jumping off points. And the visual elements. Okay, this is interesting. So it has symbols on the cards and the colors and what they mean. That's really interesting. So it brings in other things and what they symbolize. Interesting. How to use your cards. Spread suggestions. So we have a 3-card spread, a single draw, mind, body, soul, inner child, present self, future self, and then a yearly outlook. Synergistic spread. There's some further spreads. So cool. So then it just kind of goes into the interpretations. There's actually a lot in here. I like that for this little deck. Okay, so I'm going to start off by pulling one of these cards as kind of a focus. And I'll tell you how it shuffles real quick. Oh yeah, that shuffles awesome. I love, this almost feels like Andrew McNeil's. No, it's not as flimsy and like, I don't know. It does bounce back a little bit better than I would say like Andrew McNeil's. Really good cardstock. I love this. So we have 111 manifestation. Beautiful. I really like that. Oh, that's literally like the front of the box. Okay, so let's read what the guidebook says. I wonder if they're in... Yeah, that's cool. 111 manifestation. Incredible manifestation energy is on tap. You already possessed all the tools you need to follow your own path. This is a gentle reminder that you are not alone on that journey. The universe has your back, baby. It's fully aware of your strengths and is encouraging you to move forward and take the steps needed to actualize your goals. Break free of those limiting lies and self-doubts. I love that. That's kind of like the same. It's like the same energy as the salt card that we got earlier. Pursuing your dreams with honesty and integrity, trusting that you are supported by the higher realm, manifesting your desires by taking action. Everything you need is at your fingertips. And then the affirmation is, I'm a magnet for all my desires. It does have a reverse, which is interesting. So it has feeling discouraged and defeated, negativity mindset attracting the wrong energy, denying or giving away your power, going down a path that feels inauthentic to you. So, I mean, I think this is pretty spot on for things I've been going through. All right, so I want to pair it with this, kind of do a little like 2-card reading, which is really like my style lately. It's what I want to do when I have been pulling tarot. It's like I pull one oracle, I pull a tarot. So let's talk about this deck for a second. This is really cute. I'm hoping it'll pair energetically well with the angel number oracle. It's interesting that it has like this black background and then this has this white, but I think that might give a good like juxtaposition. This is not a deck I've played around with too much, and I'm hoping that the energy is soft and it feels safe enough and that it pairs well with this and gives me a good message. So we're gonna see. It'd be nice if they were like on the same cardstock. They'd just feel a little bit more aligned, I guess. All right, so I guess kind of what I want to ask the tarot is, how can I be in a less negative mindset and be more in this manifestation mindset? What can I do? Okay. We got the Queen of Pentacles, good old Queen of Pentacles. So definitely looking at what I have and not what I lack, which is something that I was struggling with before in a very materialistic way. And I feel like now it's more of a spiritual way that I need to look at this. I think those look cute together. I mean, knowing that they're the same artist, it kind of brings that energy. I feel like energetically they work well together. I do want to see what this has to say. The universe has your back. You have everything you need to succeed. That's literally like what the other card said. That's funny. How have I been nurturing my relationships? Am I being mindful of how I exert my energy? Affirmation: I relax and invite love and light into my life. Wow. And then there's some upright and reversed. I mean, oh, this little guidebook's cute. I don't think I've ever dived into it before. I like how it has that little affirmation. And then this deck has an affirmation too. So let me see what, right? It had an affirmation in here. Yeah. That's cute. Okay, so trying to do this with one hand. It ain't working out. Okay. I am a magnet for all my desires, and I relax and invite love and light into my life. I mean, beautiful. I feel like that's exactly what I needed. I'm excited to use these together more. I feel like I have a new little like pairing that feels safe to me and feels like uplifting, especially since they all have an affirmation. I didn't realize this deck had affirmations for every single card. Okay, I want to see what like the Tower says, because let's see what the Death card says. The only way out is through. When I'm struggling, it's okay to ask for help. So yeah, I think this deck has become a new front of the line for me to use, and I'm so excited for that. So yeah, thank you guys for coming along with me as I play with cards, open a new deck, and just kind of talk about my feelings. I am sorry for not being more active on this channel, but I've just been going through a big change, I feel like, in life, and just with who I am, and that's okay. We change, we grow, we become different people all the time. So I do want to try to keep a little more active on this channel, do a little more lighthearted things on here, just to kind of feel like myself again. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.